Morning. Question. How long does it take you when you haven't been behind your camera to get a little bit stir crazy? So much so that you just have to take your camera out and get out and shoot pretty much anything. For me, as it turns out, it's about 2.5 weeks. When I say stir crazy, I mean climbing the walls, itching to get out, and just begging anybody to come with you, just so you can talk geek a little bit. I like talking geek. I've been away for a couple of weeks in a fantastic location, but I have to be honest with you, I dragged 3 lenses, 1 body and a tripod across the world and got it out once. The rain was absolutely biblical and I wasn't prepared to lose my kit just to get a mediocre shot. With that in mind, as soon as I got back into the country, I contacted Photo Buddy Ben and virtually begged him, please, can we go out? Anytime, I'll do it anytime. And then jet lag hit, so anytime really wasn't the truth. So it's heather time of year and we decided to come out on a day that just is like living in a sweet shop. I have got everything that a photographer could possibly want for fairly intimate summer shots. The problem is, it's almost too good. Where the heck do you point your lens when you got a little bit out of the habit and you're just so excited? That's my problem. Oh Ben, how cool is this, man?
You're about to witness my headless chicken impression.
Actual mist.
I usually out, but that's the brightest part of the sky.
Okay.
And we'll be shooting into it. We're on the edge of the mist at the moment. I think this could work out. There you go, Ben was right. Sun's going to be coming up just over here and it looks like we've probably got about 15-20 minutes before that comes up.
Lovely. Ben's often right. I have learnt this.
There you go. So we're on the edge of the mist and we're going to be shooting into it, so I think we'll just find some nice subjects and then set up the cameras.
Boom. I need to stick to the edge of the tree area for the simple reason that if I'm not careful, it becomes so thick you can't really see an awful lot, and as Ben describes it, to mist blind. You can't see your compositions because you're just so awestruck by this gorgeous mist that's happening around you. Right, crack on. We've got yellows, we've got purples, and we've got mists, and I just need to get on and set something up, otherwise I'm going to miss the opportunity for a good sunrise. This is a peril of not having visited a location before. I'm running around like a headless chicken trying to find compositions and working out what it is that I want to focus on. Is it the mist? Is it the lovely purples and the yellows that I'm seeing kind of at my feet? And I'm about to have a sunrise and I haven't got a composition locked in.
Get a grip.
And I'm talking to you, so I should get on with it really, but I feel a little bit paralysed. I thought having a few weeks off from photography might in fact reset me. It seems to have reset me right back to zero.
Sometimes I find just taking one shot, my first shot, getting it out the way, can really help the matter.
Naughty words just popping out of my mouth because I can't find a composition and the sun has just come up over there and I haven't found anything. Oh, maybe I have, but it's not in the right direction for the sun. There's not an awful lot of heather in front of it. Could this stand work? Might be worth a go. So I'm just panicking. I've taken a shot into the sun, which is ridiculous. It's not what I'm here for. It doesn't necessarily work, and
Shush, welcome. It was fine.
Welcome. So I'm focusing on those 3 trees and trying to get some of the heather in front. I'm doing a focus stack because at the moment I want to see if I can get front to back sharpness. A little bit later on I might get a bit more creative, but knowing me, in a panic, I doubt it. Okay, this is quite special. I'm getting, hopefully, some of the dew that's on the grasses. I'm starting to get some of the rays that are coming into this tree here.
Well, after a lovely few moments shooting into the light, I thought maybe I should focus on what I was actually there to shoot, which was, by the way, heather. Heather, that purple stuff.
There's a stand of trees just there that light's hitting now and it's sort of in the mist. That's what I'm aiming for. Now recently I have spoken to some friends who are very, very fit. They do an awful lot of exercise, they get a buzz off it, and they were describing exactly how I feel when I get a good shot, or actually even when I'm just out behind my camera. Yes, it can be frustrating at times. Golly, that sun's bright. However, ultimately, I really get a buzz from being out and just trying and perhaps improving my craft. If I can indeed suggest that what I feel is almost perhaps what an addiction may feel like, well, I suppose it's a healthier one than some that I could have chosen. But I never anticipated I would get to a stage where I would start getting really antsy if I hadn't got behind a camera for quite a long time. And this is possibly why. To me, photography means I get my backside out of bed. It means that I get to see the best of the day. It also means that I have the opportunity to be a little bit intellectually stimulated, because after all, no conditions and no elements are exactly the same, even if you go back day after day to the same place, which I don't tend to do. And it's just a bit of a challenge that I have a little bit of control over. The parameters are clear. I've got certain selections that I can do. If I want to get more creative, fantastic. If I want to be more traditional, well, then that's my bag. But I've got control over it, and it just gets me out. This could be poor logic, but I don't think they put angry cows out in a field where the public could go around. So I'm going to chance and walk behind them. How are you? Hi, honey. It's all right. Nice. Cool, that's impressive. Have you seen my lens cap? I'm out often at a time when others are in bed, so I tend to have a place to myself. And even if I am with my photo buddy Ben, well, quite often we're quite a long way apart. In fact, just thinking about this,
It is a bit quiet.
I haven't seen him for quite some time. I've seen a few cows, but I haven't seen him for quite some time. So maybe I should give him a buzz and just see if he's okay. Found him, stalking some rays. I got a question for you. I think that photography is quite addictive. I might have to stop this in a second because there's some rays.
Yeah.
Okay, to be continued.
Yeah.
Photo buddy Ben, I think that I find this malarkey, even though I'm not particularly brilliant, quite addictive. And I've explained why. I'm not going to tell you why that is, because you're going to have to wait for the video to come out. However, why do you think that photographers tend to get a little bit obsessed with their craft?
I've joked previously, it's like collecting photographs. So I feel like, especially with social media, YouTube and everything else, and I hang around with lots of photographers, I want to collect them all. So even if I were to have been, I use the West Pier in Brighton as an example all the time. I've been there probably 100 times. And then one day I'll see somebody's photograph of it and I think, why didn't I see that composition? Or why didn't I see that?
That's logical.
Like the ICM, for example. You watch somebody's podcast on ICM and you think, I want to apply that. I need to revisit all of those locations and do ICM. So you can't ever complete it. You can't finish photography. There's always something new, isn't there?
I hadn't thought of that. That's even better than what I said. And I hate to admit it, everything Ben does is better than what I do. Oh, I hate that bit. However, yes, it's never completed.
No.
And that's quite in itself depressing and inspirational.
If there was just 52 photographs, like a deck of cards, and you could complete them all, you could feel content, but then what would you do after that? So it's good that you can't complete it and it's not a game, but I think that's why it's addictive, because you can find inspiration, locations, and there are so many different genres of photography.
And as like we did in London, it was kind of sometimes you can cross-fertilise and that makes a difference. Ben, that's far better than what I said earlier. Why is photography quite addictive? What he said. Two things I want to point out here. One, the number of cobwebs. It's quite astounding. And two, Rather like when you're photographing lavender, when the sun gets too high, it almost bleaches out some of the colour that you are seeing in that lovely purple. So I think with that in mind, we're going to gently meander back to the car and just see if something catches our eye, because as I said, the colour is slowly being drained because of the strength of the sun.
Well, as suspected, all very gorgeous, but nothing worth whipping my kit out for. And as if to prove my addiction point, we went back the next day. It was rubbish. These are the 3 shots that I have a particular fondness for, I think in part because they reflect that softness of the morning light. I'd love to know if they or any of the others have caught your attention. Please let me know in the chat.
Well, thank you for joining me today. Wherever I am next time, I look forward to taking you with me. If you wouldn't mind thinking about giving me a like or a subscribe, I'd be very, very grateful. Meanwhile, have a great week. I'll see you next time.